In terms of the Hindu tradition, I am an avatar. By avatar, what is meant is somebody who has descended from universal consciousness. There is something like earthly consciousness, which comprises the whole of humanity. And then there is a universal consciousness which sort of governs the universe. And there are many aspects to it. And some of these aspects can manifest in physical form. So I am a manifestation of that aspect which is concerned about enlightenment. So I am an avatar for enlightenment. There are other avatars too. You have mathematics avatars. They of course do not come from universal consciousness. They come from some kind of earthly collective consciousness. Then you have avatars in physics, you have avatars in Vastu, you have avatars in astrology, you have all kinds of avatars. You should not think an avatar is just only a spiritual person. And among spiritual avatars, again there is such variety. Each is a specialist. So, my specialization is a mukti, though I can also handle your worldly problems. Because unless I handle your worldly problems, you won't come to me. Though that is not my main interest, but at the same time, I am not against people fulfilling their worldly desires. I do not believe that as you fulfill your desires will keep growing. It happens up to a point. Thereafter it begins to satiate and you actually tend to grow. And I have found actually the Dharma itself, a lot of our devotees, after that desires were fulfilled, became seekers after enlightenment. So I do that also. So basically, I am an avatar for enlightenment. But all this you can discover more in the process. The process you will know exactly who I am, because you and I would come face to face. Mukti could be defined in various ways. The general definition which I give for mukti is the liberation of senses. Now, when you see, you do not see without the interference of the mind. If you can see without the mind interfering, that is mukti. If you can hear without the mind interfering, that is mukti. The same applies to smell, touch, and even thought. Thought also can be observed without your getting involved with the thought. Now, what's happening is when you are thinking, you think you are thinking, but it is actually possible to see thoughts flow as though they are independent of you. This is a physical reality. Actually, you can see thoughts. Any kind of thought would be coming into you and would be going out of you, and you can watch them. So, this is the state of mukti, that is the complete liberation of the senses from the control of the mind. It's only such a being who is actually living. Wherever the mind is in control, you are not living. When the mind is not there, then you are actually living. That's why when people ask me, what is the purpose of life? My answer is, if you are living, you won't ask the question. The purpose life is to live. What does that mean? To live the life of the senses. The senses must be independent and free of the mind. Now what's happening is you are not at all experiencing reality. Reality to you is what is flowing through the senses. Now all the time you are interpreting whatever data is coming into you. You look at a tree and you say it's a big tree, small tree, green tree, mango tree, this, that. All the time comments are going on. When you sit down to eat food, you're not eating food. You start worrying about your office or your family or this or that, or comment on the food itself. The food is not being experienced. That's why I have said in the Mahavakyas, if you experience reality as it is, then you will just experience bliss. You will see this whole creation is perfect. It's the most beautiful thing, and that you're already in heaven. You have made it into a hell. It is possible to liberate these senses from the clutches of thought. So thought is necessary when required. Otherwise, why should thought interfere? There is no need for thought to come and interfere with your actual experience. Now, when the senses become free of the control of thought or the mind, then we say you have discovered unconditional joy, the unconditional love. Such is this joy that you will feel that you are connected with everybody. So you discover true love. So this true love and this true joy are not separate things. They're all one and the same. And this is a natural occurrence. That is what you are designed to be. That is what a human being is supposed to experience all the time. Since you do not experience that, your lives have become miserable. And to escape that misery, you have created various escape routes through which all the time you are escaping from your misery, which misery itself is because you are not experiencing reality. That is why people take to alcohol or to drugs or sex or whatever that is, because otherwise what is there in your life, it becomes meaningless. So the whole attempt of this movement is to help you experience reality as it is. When that happens, you discover unconditional love and unconditional joy. You feel connected with everything and everybody. You do not feel you are a separate individual. You do not live for yourself alone anymore, because the yourself has become everybody. You live for the sake of humanity. This is not a concept or some imagined thing. This is a day-to-day reality once you become enlightened or you become a mukta. And thousands of people have already got into this state. And even right now there are a few people sitting here who are in this state. As every individual becomes aware of the unconscious and becomes liberated from that, you would automatically be influencing almost 100,000 people across the planet. That is the power of your own enlightenment. So as each one of you is becoming enlightened, you are contributing to world enlightenment. You will reduce the conflict levels in the world. You will see that there is less problems in the world, there is less accidents, there is less disease, there are less problems, less relationship problems. The whole atmosphere will be getting cleaned up. So thus you will be contributing to the whole of mankind. It's not that only you are going to benefit. So not only do you benefit, you're actually contributing to about 100,000 people. That is the effect of one single individual becoming enlightened. That's why when Ramana was asked, why are you sitting idle? Why don't you do something? One of the answers he gave was, a silent dynamo does not make any noise. Sitting there silently in Thiruvannamalai, but he was influencing the world in a big way. Thus, anybody who makes it will be influencing the whole world, even if he were to be living quietly in his house. That is the effect you would have.
Hello, my name is Carla. I used to be from Mexico, as I told before, but now I feel like Indian, like Italian, Turkish, Egyptian. Who cares now? Here I am. I want to experience the air. Everything is now is very soft. I feel completely empty since a few weeks ago, since the process started, and I feel so free also, with many things to share. Sometimes I respect when I want to talk, when I want to be silent. It's good to be silent also. I enjoy it so much. I like to walk. I like the way I look at things now, because for the first time I'm looking at it. I'm experiencing the present. Is something like I could never imagine before, because you don't have because you are just there and that's it. You just enjoy the things. Yesterday it was raining and I was enjoying so much. I feel like a baby sometimes. I feel like my heart is beating for the first time, and it feels so nice. My body feels like it's not here sometimes. I feel like the wind, like the fire, like the sun, like the water. I can be everything. Sometimes when I look at things, I become that thing. It's strange, but it's true. I can experience it in the real. sometimes I'm with the eyes open and I realize that I could be there for a day. I don't have, my mind doesn't have any time right now. It's like being in the present all the time, even if I'm sleeping or if I'm awake, I'm still alive. When I take a shower, I take a shower, I'm there, I feel the water, I feel that I'm breathing, I feel everything at the same time, and it feels so nice. I used to feel very different before because I was not living. I felt like my body was too heavy. I felt many things that made me feel that I was guilty sometimes, that I felt not compassion for people, and I didn't like the way I was because I wasn't me and I didn't know it. So now my thoughts are very clear. I'm writing a lot as many years before that I used to work for advertising, and I think are very fluent right now. It's just a matter of have a pen and a notebook and a piece of paper, and the ideas comes along, like now that I'm looking at the camera and I'm looking at the glass, and I'm very happy. If I come here, I don't know why really, but it's okay. It's okay to flow with the wind, to let yourself go, to be in touch with nature is very important. Sometimes you are very far, but you hear and feel everything that is part of you, the animals, the elements, everything is so alive. I wake up very early in the morning, I have a lot of energy, and I don't feel tired. Just sometimes like I'm in slow motion, but I respect that, and then I feel full of energy. I can run, I can do exercise, I can practice yoga, I can do many things. I feel like I'm a new baby, like I was born again. My skin is so soft, my ideas are so clear, my eyes are so open.
Namaste. My humble pranams to Aman Bhagwan. Recently I had the great fortune of having the darshan of Aman Bhagwan, and immediately after that I was given the Mukti Diksha, and this has changed my life so completely. One of the disciples of Bhagwan just came and touched my head, and that was it. It was a couple of minutes, and then I was told to just lie down and just be there and do nothing. So I did that. I don't know what happened. An overwhelming power seemed to take over me. I just opened my eyes and everything had vanished. I came back to Bombay and I walked into a really stressful period for me in terms of my work. There was a lot of work at office which I had to catch up on, and I just walked in, and things just seemed to flow. It was like one beautiful journey. Not a single moment I felt any strain, any stress, any worry. It just seemed to flow, and life seemed to be perfect the way it was, and I was just being flowing with the tide of life. And similarly at work, everything seemed to be perfect. I had done nothing, but things started snapping into place. Projects came in, just almost as if they walked through the doors of my office, and I worked on projects with my colleagues. What normally would have taken me almost 5 or 10 days to complete, I was actually doing it in about 15-20 minutes of work. And I just approached the problem, stood there, talked and discussed out of a perfect state of emptiness, and things just fell into place. And I'm so thankful to my very dear Amma and Bhagwan. Not only have they changed my life, they've just filled me with their consciousness, and they've just shown me that the consciousness is everywhere around, and I really thank them for this great state that I am in. Thank you very much, Amma and Bhagwan.
In the process of giving you mukti, we have to basically operate on two nadis called the Ida and the Pingala. So I generally operate on the Ida and she takes over the Pingala, but on some occasions, depending on the person as to which hemisphere is more active in him, we will switch. She moves over to Ida and I move to Pingala, or vice versa. The other thing is, in the process, there are moments when you have to be still, and there are moments when you experience the movement. So stillness and movement keep alternating. So when she is handling stillness, I handle movement. When she handles movement, I handle stillness. But most often I handle stillness and she handles movement. So we have to work together in the mukti process, and also very often we'll get stuck in the 4 baskets, in which case you might have to be mothered again, which role she performs. So she's an integral part of the process, and we have to work together. And I also need to be inspired. She provides me with that inspiration. It goes on like that. We are more like two sides of the same coin. When we are together, we don't actually have to talk. We know exactly what's going on. Very rarely we have to actually talk to have a conversation. It's not necessary. So that's how we live. But we are mostly like friends. And basically, it's because I'm focusing on enlightenment. I do not want people to come and trouble me here with desires. So we thought 2 different places would be much better, where people go there for desires and they come here for enlightenment. And also people who come for desires are very large in number, and Nemam is a more convenient place for people than this place. So out of public convenience we have done that. But we meet 2 days in a week, and we keep talking as to what's happening, what we should do next. Yes, we do fight. It is basically about giving grace to people. I generally do not give grace so easily. I wait till the man has learnt what is expected to learn, and then give him the grace. Amma's attitude is that you should first give him the grace, then make him learn. I sometimes disagree because I feel that sometimes once the grace is given, he just runs away. He is not prepared to learn. So Amma is basically more like a mother, so she cannot stand people suffering, and she doesn't matter whether he learns or not, let's bail him out. So on these issues we do get into problems. Otherwise we don't have any problem. That's why many people now have learned, if I am not answering, they just ask Amma and they get away with it.
Namaste, I'm Rosemary from Belgium. When I entered the hut of the Homa itself, I felt an amazing, incredibly power. There was an incredibly energy inside the room. So when we had the first one, the Mahaganpati Homa, I could actually see when we were invoking Ganapati down in the pillar of turmeric, I could actually see him coming down as a human being, not as a statue, but as a human being, like a handsome young man with a nice belly and a trunk. And when I was praying with offering flowers and the special sugar balls for prasadam, he gave me a blessing, like with his trunk. He touched his trunk to my forehead and tapping on both shoulders, and then he was hugging me with his trunk around my body and saying that the whole group was blessed. It was a most incredible sight when we had the special Homa to have a better connection with Amma and Bhagwan, because then we had to pray and then we had to see them in a golden form, and I can actually see them in a golden form. But then they came to the pot with the tirthan water. So, and I could actually, it's not imagination, it's a real physical thing what happened. All the different deities in their different forms, also the Navagrahas I could see, and a most special experience I had different times in the different homas. It was like a bit of strange, because the moment I feel those energies, my body starts to move on its own. I don't have control to my body, and with the different deities and different energies, the body starts moving each time in a different way, so I can have the discrimination what they want to say to me, because I can actually see them as normal human beings. I also have a special connection with Lakshmi. Whenever Sanskrit verses or songs or mantras that I never heard before, I never knew because I am a Western, when they are recited, I could actually feel that it's like resonating towards Lakshmi, a small Lakshmi inside me, that it's even more powerful. It's like the Sanskrit verses are like they were personally addressed to me. I can't explain why, but I felt like a Lakshmi on that very moment. So it was most special, and the homas were so nicely conducted by the dasas. They were explaining us each part and the importance of each part, and I could feel each part as his own meaning and his own special powers. So it was, and also I could feel the pureness of the heart of the Dasajis, because in the past I had seen different homas before in other parts of India, and I could not really feel the difference, because there was a pureness of heart and a pureness of thoughts and the strong devotions by the Dasaji. It was so strong and so pure, because I can tell by the reaction of my body that it was incredible. So it was an incredible benediction for us all, that really it helped us, because really the divine beings, they come down from other lokas, and really you get some really powerful blessings to help you in daily aspects in your life, because you can ask anything and they answer always your prayers. So I'm very pleased I could attend all these homas, because I was always in a high state, because especially when they, at the end, the dasa came to sprinkle the tirthan water, the body reacted like it was such an amazing power that came over me, like the body reacted like I had an electrical shock. And even more so when we got the tirtan water in the hands to drink, I was like I was filled completely with divine power.
सच्चिदानन्द परब्रह्म पुरुषोत्तमा परमात्मा श्री भगवती समेत श्री भगवते नमः। ॐ सच्चिदानन्द परब्रह्म पुरुषोत्तमा परमात्मा श्री भगवती समेत श्री भगवते नमः। ॐ सच्चिदानन्द परब्रह्म पुरुषोत्तमा परमात्मा श्री भगवती समेत श्री भगवते नमः।
Cosmic Music presents Mantra Therapy Series. Omkara Dhyana Meditation for Pregnant Women. Ulcer, Heart, Headache. Garbha Raksha for every expectant mother. Diabetes and blood pressure. Available on CDs and cassettes.